And this is exactly why Israel benefits from all those things that are wrong in the Arab world. It is no wonder that regimes which have entered into peace treaties with Israel are the regimes that are most dictatorial, most corrupt in the region, most resistant to democratization.
Yes.
Today, as we meet here, Egyptian police and security agents chase members of the public in Alexandria, in Cairo, and elsewhere in Egypt, because people want, for a change, to elect different
Muslim Brotherhood
brands of people, people who are not corrupt, like the members of the ruling party in Egypt, which is a very close friend of Israel and of the United States of America. Israel is the greatest beneficiary from the lack of democracy across the region. Because had the people in the region had the free will to choose their rulers, their representatives, things would have been much different. We had one election in Palestine, January 2006. The result? Total rejection. First, by the leaders of liberal democracy in the world, United States of America, who said, no, this is not acceptable. Unless you do this and do that and do that and do that, we will not recognize you as representatives of the Palestinian people. Who are the representatives of the Palestinian people? People who get drunk with Israelis every night. People who go to bed with Israelis every night. People who are today imprisoning Palestinians who are opposed to persecution in the West Bank. People who are contributing to the siege over Gaza. The Palestinian Authority, together with Egypt, Israel, and the United States of America, leading the siege over Gaza. The lack of democracy in the region is why Israel and its representatives, like you, sir, are able to boast about your fake democracy, which is an apartheid democracy, very much like the South African white minority democracy, where it is the elite, the exclusive club of democracy for only a certain brand of people. Why then is democratization opposed across the region? Because once we have a choice, once we have a say, things will be different, and you won't be able to make any treaty with the lackeys who are on the payroll of the Americans. You tell me, Mahmoud Abbas, who is paying his salary? Salam Fayyad, who is paying his salary? Who is training the troops in Jordan in order to persecute the Palestinians on the streets of the West Bank?
Who's paying yours?
My TV station.
Yeah, Iranian back.
If you prove that, or I'll take you to court if you claim I am backed by the Iranians. If you make an allegation that I am backed by the Iranians, I'll take you to court.
Well, you were already in a...
Tell the truth or shut up.
You're in a street square telling that Israel should be destroyed.
Shut up. Shut up.
Don't claim I am paid by anybody. I am a free man. I am independent. I have a TV station.
Oh, yeah.
I get paid by my TV station. Don't make allegations.
You make it all the time.
No, he just got a bottle of cocktail korba from the Israeli embassy.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah. Famous for this.
Well, I don't know who pays your television station, but the Hamas in Gaza does receive bags of money from Iran. This is the point. And the Hezbollah receives more than bags of money.
It's not your business.
Large bags of money.
As well.
You are getting from America, from everywhere you are getting money.
Bagging everywhere.
The Iranians do support the terrorist organizations of the Palestinians, of the Lebanese, and the others.
No, this is a misguiding, excuse me. They are not terrorist organizations, they are national liberation movements. If they are...
The Hezbollah...
Hezbollah is a national liberation movement.
They should be all with orange
Hamas
jumpsuits.
is a national liberation movement.
Lebanon is an
If they
independent
have a
country.
religious... They are a national liberation movement.
The Hezbollah...
Yeah, excuse me. He is a historian, professor, and we are listening to him all the time. but to narrate fakes, it's not accepted.
Maybe you sit and we listen while they speak.
Well, the Hezbollah is a party and a militia in Lebanon and is not a national liberation movement because Lebanon was liberated from French control 60 years ago. It happens to function both as a militia of one branch of Islam in Lebanon, the Shia, and it also functions as a terrorist organization. It planted bombs in the American compounds and embassies. It slaughtered dozens of journalists and American officials, and it attacks Israel, and it attacks all sorts of, including this guy Hariri, who used to be Prime Minister of Lebanon. Apparently, we'll have the tribunals. The tribunals investigation will be published apparently in the coming weeks, and they point to the Hezbollah. That's what's been reported. So the Hezbollah is a number of different things.
That's what has been reported by the Israeli intelligence.
No, not the Iranians. Not the Iranians. Not the Israelis.
I go, yes. I go.
Listen, a lot is made overnight. Quite understand it, as I said, I devoted years of my life to actually writing about the Palestinian refugee problem and how it was created. A lot of time is spent on individual stories of refugees, including Dr. Tamimi, and I quite understand and empathize with the desire of individual refugees to return to their homes. Nothing could be more moral than a refugee's desire to return to his original village and to his original house after hostilities have ended. The problem is that the hostilities have not ended, and the problem is that it's not an individual problem. It's a political, military problem. And if 5 million Palestinian refugees are registered in the United Nations rolls, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren of the original refugees of 1948, if 5 million Palestinian refugees get the right of return and implement the right of return to their homes, which no longer exist, incidentally. Most of the villages were built of mud and they simply don't exist. They were destroyed by Israel in 48 and in the 50s. But if they get the right of return and implement it, there is no Jewish state in the Middle East. It won't remain because there are 5.5, 6 million Jews in Israel. There's 1.3 million Palestinian Israeli citizens. And if you add to that 5 million returning refugees, you have instant bloodshed, chaos, anarchy, and no Jewish state. And that's the reason why Israel refuses and why the Hamas and the Arab world demand the right of return in order to destroy the Jewish state. And this is the problem we face. If that remains the ethos of the Palestinian national movement, as it does to this day, Abbas, Hamas, they all demand the right of return. There will be no solution to the conflict and certainly no two-state solution.
Thank you. And now the audience and the board, till 7:15. We'll stop at 7:15. You over there at the door, you have been waiting for your turn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.